Thank you, Anthony.
Your wife's involvement with golf as well was great because all this time together on the golf course, she managed to get her handicap down quite low as well.
That's right. When we went to Singapore in 1970, Colleen, she didn't play golf, but we had 3 kids, and then when we arrived up in Singapore, we were lucky. We had amas that looked after the kids. We had a driver driving the school and stuff like that. So Colleen decided she wanted to play golf. She started off the longest handicap, and I think in those days it was like 36. Anyway, she got her handicap down to 6. She got beaten in the club championship a couple of times, and she really enjoyed playing golf, but it helped me also because when we went away on holidays, she didn't mind because she could sit in the buggy next to me and also hit the ball around the course.
You've taken that into, I was going to say retirement, but it's sort of semi-retirement, really. You're based in Tallwoods now, but you haven't slowed down, have you, Bill?
No, well, when I left PGF and came back to Australia, I was lucky enough to be appointed the Australian distributor for the Titleist brand. And no one knew who Titleist was out here, and I think in those years, I think the first ball that we brought out from America was the Pinnacle ball. No one knew Titleist, so it was the Pinnacle brand that we promoted, and then later on, I looked after all the top amateurs around Australia, set up the AIS, New South Wales Institute of Sport, with the golf programs, and I was doing pretty good, but also I was spending a lot of my money, but the Americans were helping. But it enabled me to meet the Tiger Woods and the Greg Normans and the Kel Nagels of the world and the Peter Thompsons, 2 of the nicest guys, that I've run into in golf. Kel Nagel is number 1 and Peter Senior is a very close second, but there's a lot of nice guys out there.
Peter Senior is one of these amazing people. He's, 50-something
now? He's just turned 50, would you believe?
I don't want to get too close there and say he's quite a senior yet, but he's still competing against the big fellas, and he's doing quite well.
Yes, I think he's going to play in Europe this year, but also he's going to go to America to try and get his seniors card. Pete's a bit of a character. The Great White Shark arrived in Melbourne one day with his private plane and everything. Anyway, Pete came up to me and said, "Hey, boss, should I park my 747 next door to the Sharks?" Because over the years, Pete's accumulated a lot of money. But Peter owns a 747, but he leases it out. And it was no joke. I didn't realise, but it was 100% right. But he's a character, so...
Gee, golf's certainly a good profession to get into. And as a result, you have bought your dream home in Tallwoods. How often do you play golf nowadays?
Oh, I'm lucky to play twice a week. I play in the Tuncurry a bit too. I've got a couple of good mates that I play with there. They try and help me with my swing. I'm a little bit short these days. I have a lot of fun. These guys play off handicap 3 or 4. One of the guys plays in the Australian senior team, Tony Kennings, and it's good. And mate, he can rip it about 50 metres past me. He's age 61, I think Tony is now. But I'm playing with Tony and Ian Smith, the barber from Foster, at Tuncurry, and they'll check out my action. But also, I have them testing the golf balls as well, so I get a first-hand look and I get a feel what's happening with golf balls, and after being with Titleist for 20 years, well, I know all about the stuff, and also my son Wayne, he's in charge of all the technical stuff, so any difficult questions come along, I just refer it all to Wayne.
Well, tell us about your son and your involvement with the Vision golf balls, because this is your pet baby, and I know you were advertising them just before Father's Day, and a lot of men were very happy to get their Vision golf ball package, and so just tell us about them.
2000 Olympic Games year, I turned 60, and the Americans said to me, "Boz, we don't deal with people over 60 years of age, so I think we better come in and open up our own Australian company." And they said, "No golden handshake, you've had it for 20 years, we hope you've made enough money." Anyway, I did pretty good. And I said to my son Wayne, there must be someone else in the world can make golf balls as good as Titleist. So anyway, after about 2 years of me tripping around the world, I found a Korean company called Phantom Golf. Then they've been in business since 1973, and then I found out who they were making golf balls for. Firstly, I invited myself to their factory because I said I'd have a look at your factory before I can ask you to make golf balls for me. Anyway, they said, "Yeah, do whatever you want to do." So I've been up there about 6 times now, good people to work with, and that's why we've come out with this new range of balls, and quite honestly, they're as good as anything in the world, and also you're not paying those big bucks that these international companies are charging, and I'm trying to help the Mr. Average Australian with a good product, and I'm so confident I've got 100% money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. That's how confident I am.
Well, it's a pretty good deal. You're based locally, which is fantastic as well. Still love your golf. It's good to see. Got any tips for aspiring golfers out there?
Well, after watching the TV, you've got to have a good short game. Everyone, watch Tiger Woods. At times, he can hit it 100 metres offline. Most of the times, he gets a pretty damn good lie, but it was back in the early days. Arnold Palmer used to have an army of people walking around the fairways and that, and a lot of people used to get in the road of Arnie's balls, and then they'd go home and brag to their mates, hey, look at this, I got hit by Arnold Palmer today. But Tiger, you can see, when he wins, he chips and putts unbelievably, and when he doesn't win, you see, he doesn't hold those putts.
So look at that short game. You mentioned you had 7 clubs when you first started out. Which 7 clubs were they?
Well, I had a 2-wood, and I think I had a 4-wood. Then I had most probably a 3, 5, 7, and most probably a pitching club and a putter.
What's your favourite club nowadays?
Oh, Jesus, that's hard to say. Mate, I battle a little bit. I'm 68 years of age now, but I'm off a handicap of 9. Occasionally I can sneak it around in par figures, but everything's got to go right. But hey, it's when I have a good putting day. So most probably my putter's the best part of my game.
There you go. Make sure you get that short game fixed. Bill, thanks very much for your time on 2RE.
Okay, thank you, Anthony.